Sound and vibration are far more than fleeting tones in the air. According to the perspectives of some people, they are guiding principles woven into the very fabric of existence, influencing not only daily experiences but also the blueprint of what is commonly labeled as physical reality. Much of this understanding can be tracked to ancient texts and oral traditions, which have long hinted that frequencies form the scaffolding of life. Only in more recent centuries has modern investigation begun to uncover just how deeply resonance and vibration affect everything, from planetary ecosystems to individual cells. Many cultures throughout history believed that what appears solid is, in truth, a mesh of oscillating energies. Certain philosophies, including those of some Hindu lineages, speak of a foundational sound, sometimes referred to as Ennada Brahma, or the cosmic resonance that threads through existence. Meanwhile, accounts from other regions emphasize the power of chanting or drumming as direct routes to access higher awareness. The premise is similar. There is a conviction that vibration is not merely an auditory phenomenon, but rather the force that imprints patterns onto reality itself. Ancient cultures appear to have employed this principle in their architecture and rituals. Some researchers propose that temples and pyramids may have been constructed with an acute sense of acoustic resonance. In structures across different continents, the purposeful use of geometric proportions might have ensured that specific frequencies echoed throughout sacred chambers. In ancient Egypt, for instance, vowel-based chanting was documented among certain priestly orders, revealing that controlled vocal tones could induce altered states of consciousness. Aboriginal Australians view melodic chanting, often described as songlines, as a means to connect with ancestral spirits and the land itself. Through these chants, they believe the land was literally sung into being, highlighting that sound is not just a medium for communication, but a creative force that underpins existence. Additional glimpses into how vibration sculpts matter come from experimental science. An early pioneer, Ernst Chladni, demonstrated that grains on plates exposed to a violin bow would arrange themselves into symmetrical shapes. Hans Jenny expanded on these investigations, a field now termed cymatics, by illustrating the complex, mandala-like patterns formed in various substances when exposed to particular frequencies. When water, fine sand, or other materials are subjected to alternating vibrations, the emergent geometries change rapidly, suggesting that matter is highly responsive to sound-based influences. These images serve as tangible evidence that vibrations can organize physical material in ways that were once considered impossible. At a subtler level, quantum physics shows that particles exhibit wave-like behavior. The double-slit experiment, for instance, indicates that electrons or photons pass through two openings as waves and interfere with themselves, forming patterns on a screen. However, the very act of observing them forces a collapse into particle-like behavior, hinting that even at minuscule levels, reality is not static, but depends partly on frequencies and observation. Some interpret these findings to mean that consciousness, which itself might be a form of energy, can interact with the underlying vibrations of the world. The concept that frequencies define reality was also championed by certain inventors who insisted that harnessing energy and resonance would reveal the hidden architecture of existence. Despite skepticism from mainstream circles, some people hold that these ideas explain a wide range of phenomena, from how small atomic systems function to how large cosmic structures maintain their form. One can look to phenomena such as the resonance of pulsars in space or the consistent harmonic cycles found within planetary orbits for further evidence that the universe may have an overarching melody. Modern therapies centered on sound provide further insights. Tibetan singing bowls, for example, produce deep, resonant tones that many say can calm the nervous system and induce meditative states. Research suggests that particular frequencies can regulate or influence neural activity, resulting in reduced stress levels and a shift toward more relaxed brainwave states. Some say the 528 Hz frequency in particular fosters healing at a cellular level, though others urge caution until more data is gathered. Studies linking certain audible ranges to improvements in learning or emotional processing give credence to the notion that the ear is not the only mechanism by which sound exerts its influence. Entire physiological and neurological systems become involved. An intriguing case is the water crystal experiments made popular by Dr. Masaru Emoto, who claimed that different words, intentions, or pieces of music change the freezing patterns of water into harmonious or chaotic shapes. Although debate persists regarding replication of his findings, the experiments spark discussions about how intangible elements like thought, emotion, and intangible vibrations might interact with the molecular structure of water. Because human bodies comprise a large proportion of water, it raises the question of whether personal environment, including music and spoken language, can have subtle yet significant biological effects. On a planetary scale, the Schumann resonance has been singled out as Earth's own heartbeat. Measured at about 7.83 Hertz, it appears to coincide with certain rhythms in the human body. Reports have circulated suggesting that astronauts, when removed from this frequency in space stations, experience disorientation and various health issues, only to recover once exposed to artificial versions of the Schumann resonance. This correlation indicates that living organisms might be implicitly tuned to the planet's frequency. Some people conjecture that surges or dips in Earth's electromagnetic hum could shape collective mood patterns or emotional states, hinting at an interplay between global resonance and consciousness. From a spiritual or mystical viewpoint, traditions worldwide often integrate sacred or repetitive sounds into their practices. Some chant a single syllable that is believed to align the body with cosmic rhythms, while others dance in circular motions accompanied by a chanting of phrases. In a setting where worshippers are enveloped in repeating frequencies, a phenomenon of group unity emerges, as though multiple participants temporarily share a synchronized mental state. Ethnographers who have studied drumming ceremonies in African or Native American contexts, for example, describe a palpable unity that arises once rhythms and vocal patterns intertwine. Onlookers and participants alike often speak of a sense that boundaries fade, replaced by an awareness of deep interconnection. In the realm of neuroscience, tests involving binaural beats have explored how slightly differing frequencies presented to each ear can guide the brain toward distinct wave states, such as alpha or theta. The effect is sometimes used to ease anxiety or encourage concentration, lending further weight to the view that sound directly impacts cognition. These findings feed into a broader fascination with the power of vibration to shape inner experience. Beyond anecdotal testimonies, scientific data about pulse rates, oxygenation levels, and stress hormones add an objective layer to something that once belonged primarily to esoteric or mystical teachings. It is also worth mentioning that resonance principles exist outside of purely spiritual or biological arenas. In engineering, resonance has caused dramatic events such as the collapse of bridges subjected to rhythmic winds, highlighting how a steady vibration can build up momentum in a physical structure until it fails. Alternatively, some early researchers even toyed with acoustic levitation, using focused sound waves to lift small objects, albeit over short distances. Although these demonstrations are limited, they underscore that resonance can have tangible impacts on physical objects. This leads some to wonder whether the megalithic structures of the past, including massive stone complexes in various parts of the world, were built or arranged with the help of advanced resonance knowledge, now largely forgotten. Contemporary exploration of bioresonance therapy stands as another frontier, with practitioners claiming that human ailments can be traced to dissonant frequencies within the body's organs or tissues. Realigning those frequencies, according to this line of thought, can foster healing without invasive procedures. While critics demand more rigorous peer-reviewed data, success stories keep the discipline alive, suggesting that the potential applications of resonance remain only partially explored. A small yet passionate group of investigators posits that harnessing frequencies might open doors not just to healing, but also to transformations in personal and collective consciousness. According to these views, conscious alignment with beneficial vibrations could, in theory, reshape daily life, forging a world where clarity, empathy, and heightened awareness become more commonplace. Meditative traditions, for instance, already emphasize attention to breath, posture, and mental calmness. Layering in a dimension of mindful sound immersion might amplify those benefits. Some people even reflect on cosmic phenomena, like the idea that black holes can emit specific frequencies, such as the well-known observation from a particular cluster that was said to produce a note billions of times deeper than the range of human hearing. Although such frequencies cannot be directly perceived by human ears, they reinforce the sense that the entire universe might be humming with waves and patterns that remain mostly unmeasured. The notion that these cosmic vibrations somehow interlock with life on Earth has captivated both mystics and scientists, fueling discussions that cross disciplinary lines. All of these threads converge on one fundamental proposition: sound and vibration can be regarded as core underpinnings of reality. Whether investigating the ancient chanting methods designed to align worshippers with transcendental energies, or analyzing the quantum waveforms that reveal matter's hidden fluidity, the conclusion is that everything is in motion at the vibratory level. Harmonious frequencies appear to bring about orderly patterns, while chaotic or discordant ones can yield turbulence and stress. Recognizing this principle allows for an expanded perspective on how words, thoughts, and even emotional states might resonate beyond the confines of personal existence. As new frontiers of research open up, it becomes increasingly possible that the knowledge of ancient civilizations about sound-based architecture, healing, and consciousness was more sophisticated than often assumed. Although much of that wisdom was lost or disregarded across time, modern experiments with cymatic patterns, bioresonance tools, and acoustic wave manipulation hint that there may indeed be deeper truths waiting to be rediscovered. The potential for harnessing frequencies in ways that benefit human health, environmental harmony, and even social cohesion is vast. The question now is how to bridge these growing insights with mainstream acceptance, thereby inspiring a broader shift toward the mindful use of sound in medicine, education, urban design, and beyond. Ultimately, it becomes clear that vibrations permeate everything, extending their reach from subcellular processes to cosmic phenomena. Some people contend that by tuning into these ever-present resonances, individuals and societies can align themselves with a more coherent state of being. This might entail listening more deeply, chanting with purposeful intention, or applying frequency-based therapies to restore balance. Whatever the approach, the understanding that reality is woven from vibrating filaments of energy shines a new light on the power of spoken words, the potency of silence between sounds, and the subtle ways in which everything is interconnected. By honoring and working with frequencies, there is a possibility that humankind could unlock hidden pathways of healing, unity, and insight, just as ancient cultures may have once done with remarkable skill.